Alrighty, gamers. We're gonna get ready for our upper bracket final, and I will be joined by the one and only Big Gabe himself for game 1. After that, Gabe goes back to his pizza duties, and then we'll have someone else lined up. I think Uthermo might be joining us through the middle of this series. This could obviously be a very long series. They're asking if we are ready. We are absolutely ready. We are definitely ready. As I know, Gabe is making his way over. I feel like upper bracket final. It's Gabe's day. It's Gabe's tournament. We have to have a little bit of Gabe. And I can see him smiling already. He's making his way over. Let's do it. This is going to be a fun one. I'll swap over to in-game, and then I'll see if I can find the cameras immediately. Let's see. Actually, who's blue? Okay. Blue needs to be Reynor. Let's go ahead and find Reynor. There is our boy Reynor. And then red needs to be Clem. Gabe was here. Gabe just left. It's all good. We're having fun. I wonder how many pizzas Gabe has made so far, because he has looked very busy over the last few hours. But the nerds are well fed. So I also expect some energy in this building. I see the nerds are socializing. Everyone's having some drinks, having some beers. We're having pizza. I'm expecting some love and support for the two gamers. I'm going to wait until Gabe is back, guys. Seems like we have a little Twitch chat prediction as well. Let's see what Twitch chat is favoring. Very even. Reynor and Clem has always played some amazing series against each other throughout the last few years. I love the series that they had in Poland. I thought those were incredibly fun games. Recently online, they've had 2 series against each other as well, where I believe Clem won the one in the lower bracket 3-2. Reynor won the one in the upper bracket 3-2, so it was incredibly close. And we're gonna have, oh my goodness, double German Terran joy.
Yeah.
Hello. One German and one Turkish player.
I thought you were going to go with Italian for yourself, Gabe.
No. I just want to clarify that he's not German.
That's true, he's Italian.
Welcome, guys. I've waited with the intro, so let's go ahead and do it. And let's make some nerds, and let's make some noise for our nerds over here, guys. Top left side of Taito Citadel, game 1, upper bracket finals, Cologne. Do we have any love for Reynor? Okay. There's love.
Some love, yeah. And then on the other side of the map, we have the Terran player from Team Liquid, it's Clem. No love.
That should be love. Guys, it's Clem! Thank you.
I'm a little bit exhausted for hype creation.
That's all good. Yeah, you've been busy, Gabe. How many pizzas do you think you've done so far?
Let me think. I think around like 60, 70 probably. 70.
Did you make any for yourself yet?
Not really.
Who is
I haven't really eaten anything today yet.
Well, please take care of yourself, Gabe. That's
don't
also
worry.
very important. Yeah, I know, but still.
I'm indestructible.
And who is the one who has showed up the most over there at the cashier? Has there been one player or visitor that you've seen like, wait,
Yeah, there are a couple of guys that are that have definitely had a couple of slices.
Yeah, we're talking like 2 full pizzas already. Is that a possibility?
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How many did you have, Musti? Okay, Musti is struggling a little bit with the headset. Giving up? Musti says that he hears an echo. I think, Musti, if you keep your head straight, if you only look at the monitor and you don't turn towards the other guy, then there won't be an echo. So let's give it another shot. Musti is very worried about the cable.
That's too short, I think he's trying to say.
I can move a bit to the right. We can all move to the right.
How are the games going? Everything working?
Everything has been working very well. We have just done some upper bracket, some lower bracket. We have hopped all over the place. The semi-finals between Reynor and Cristiano were the absolute highlight. I was casting with Lambo.
Yeah, I mean, I heard some of it. But
yeah, those games were insane. Uthermo has shown some really fun builds today. Obviously, in the previous series, he made mech work in game 2 and almost made a tiny comeback in game 3. Had a really fun best of 3 against Gerald. As a Starcraft 2 enjoyer, Gabe, I'm already happy today.
Nice.
What are your predictions for this best of 5? I was, before you joined, I said that these two have obviously had a lot of series against each other. Historically very close and competitive as well. Very rarely is a Reynor Clem series bad, just because they're both so fast and so exciting and explosive. I feel like it's almost impossible for them to deliver a bad best of 5, but what are your expectations?
Well, one of the reasons I host this event is because I think offline events are always like a little bit different compared to like online events. Because I mean, Reynor against Clem, we've seen that a lot online, but I feel like offline always feels a little bit different. As we see the Hellions go in, that's a classic Clem maneuver. And he's actually getting some damage via drone, but some damage on the Hellions, so pretty even exchange.
I think
Yeah, to finish my point, I think offline, I don't know, like I think like Clem in general, like I think he's very good at adjusting. So I think offline Clem I rate a little bit higher than Reynor at the moment.
Musti, do you agree with that?
I think 3-1 for.
Wait, you're very quiet now, Musti.
3-1 for Clem. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think it's just your microphone is very far away from your mouth at the moment.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, like that. We want to hear you, matey.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, you sound perfect to me.
Yeah.
As long as it's good for you as well, we're all happy.
I think the microphones are really sensitive. Like you have to have it really close.
You can also turn it up a
I
little
feel
bit.
like Clem is in really good shape as well. Like if you see the tournaments and all that stuff, like he's most times the Terran that wins the tournament, so he should be favored, right?
There's 16 links out on the map for Reynor as one of the queens is going to get gunned down immediately here. Clem doing a good job with the Reaper showing up as well, tossing the grenade, making it a bit more uncomfortable for Reynor to get a clean defense. But overall, it's not too bad for Reynor. Like, Reynor is enjoying an 8-worker lead. He lost a single queen, 3 rounds. Could be better, but it could be so much worse against Clem.
Yeah, you always have to keep in mind there's like a 2cc build. We don't really see that very often anymore these days, but Clem still sometimes does it. That's the thing about Clem, like in TVZ especially, he never plays cheesy, like never. Literally never, because he doesn't have to. However, he does rotate between builds quite often, so here we see like the 2cc version, which just adds a little bit more pressure, you're a little bit faster than, that's why he's dealing damage. But on the other hand, I feel like he needs to find more than that, because otherwise he's definitely going to fall behind.
Stim is done, but the Marine count is still quite low. As Clem has upgraded his 3rd Commencement into an Orbital and it's making its way over. Reynor has gone for a single Evolution Chamber build here as he's dropping the Hydralisk down. We have done all of this without the Roach Worm, without the Baling Nest. So going straight into Hydras. These Banshees are pushing out a lot of damage. I feel like Reynor might be able to save it, but this is a serious amount of damage on this hatch. And this could actually be a problem for Reynor now, because now he has to keep in mind that this hatchery is already quite bruised.
Yeah, true. That can be a problem. If
But
he
it's-
pushes from there and kills directly the hatchery, that can become a problem. For
It's
Reynor.
with Clem, like always these little details that he focuses on, like he could have also, like he was never gonna get that hatch, so he could have also just left with the Banshees, like not do anything. But maybe, I mean, there's gonna be a scenario where that hatch being like 500 HP lower than if he didn't micro would really come into play, so these are always the little things that can actually make a difference.
We've got a Widowmine, 2 Widowmines in the mix here, excuse me. Both Widowmines are here. One of them has burrowed defensively. The other one is moving alongside with these Marines. Clemus is going to try to push the creep back a little bit. Overall, though, Reynor on 73 drones, +1 carapace is done. Infestation Pit being thrown down now. I think Reynor can be quite pleased with these first 8 minutes. What do you make of it, Musti?
I feel like now is the time where we will see Clem's multitasking, and I really want to see how he's gonna make damage. But I think this is already really good. This looks.
Reynor has a lot of links coming in from the bottom. There are a couple of Hellbats in the mix, and Clem is forced to pick up. Clem did gun down quite a few of those expensive Hydras. Bit of an even trade, perhaps in the 11 Hydras, actually a lot. It's a few more than I thought he lost.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, 11 Hydras is solid. I thought he got like 5 or 6, and I was like, okay, that's pretty good for Clem, but he was still forced to pick up and lost a couple of the Hellions and Hellbats in the end, but 11 Hydras
Nice kill.
is a serious number.
I'm looking also forward for his mind control. Next, his mind control. Like he really controls well the mines. Like also targets with the mines, and this is really sick by Clem when he plays mines. I try to speak louder, if it's better. I don't know.
Yeah, I've also tuned you up a little bit here.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we've
I
done
saw
both.
it, but I tried to speak a little bit louder.
You're doing great, Musti. Reynor is going to try to defend on top of this ramp. There are a couple of mines there that have still not fired. It's a decent amount of links going down. But Reynor at least keeps Clem on the low ground. And now we do have our first Infestor in the mix. It's only a single Infestor, but a single Fongo though, can already be quite devastating. As Clem has loaded up every single Marine, he's thinking of a good old
Reynor
Doom
has
drop.
already units there.
Yeah, but it's just a couple links against this many Marines. I don't think Reynor wants to jump on that.
Yeah, but I mean, there should be enough units coming from below. The main thing here is like Clem is probably going to be able. Oh, that's a nice miner. Clem is probably going to be able to kill the gold base now. He did just do that. So keeping Reynor on 4 base is definitely for Clem like it's a nice feeling.
He selected the Zerg, right, with the mine. I think he targeted.
It was a great Widowmine hit, and indeed getting a cancel on the 5th. Reynor did do a good job in at least cancelling that hatchery while having to deal with the army in his main base. He's wondering if he can jump on this army now.
Oh, nice micro.
There's another Widowmine there. There's 2 more mines actually that have not fired. Reynor is going to be able to activate this one without much. There is an Overseer finishing up, but Clem is also pushing over here at the base, and he casually kills it. And that is all that damage those Banshees pushed out earlier that made this kill a little bit easier. Reynor is still a maxed out Zerg though, and he's got a serious amount of Hydras with +2 carapace. So he will be able to stabilize. And I believe we got these mines. No, we didn't get them yet. He was morphing an Overseer. And I guess we brought the Overseer back to our main army.
You foreshadowed the kill. In the beginning of the game, you told that it can become a problem, and now we see that it became a problem. And but is it already like not that big of a deal? Because Reynor is already on 4 bases with the next one, with the addition. So I guess even though he lost the base, but I feel like Reynor is still in a super shape.
That was an amazing fungal there, and the Widowmine actually doing a little friendly fire as well. Perhaps one of the better exchanges in this game for Reynor. This fungal kind of whiffs, only connecting with a single Marine. Clem does do a good job in picking up these Marines and getting out of harm's way. Now, Hive Tech has been done for a while. We've got Seismic Spies on the way. We've got 8 Lurkers on the way. But I would like to also see Adrenal Glands be on the way. And this has definitely been a thing for Reynor in a couple of big games in the past where he forgets this important upgrade. And we still have 35 Zerglings on the map. Like, he doesn't have that much gas, but I still think it should already be on the way. And I always get worried when they don't start it immediately, they tend to forget for a while.
There's still some more important upgrades to get first though, and he doesn't have a lot of gas, like +3 armor. What are the traits this game? I don't feel like it was that good for Clem so far. Yeah, like it's definitely supposed to look more in Clem's favor, especially in like whenever Clem is playing, he trades very cost efficiently, kind of like Serral does with Zerg. So the reason last tab being like somewhat even is I think quite nice for Reynor. You could definitely be happy with the current position. However, it's going to be a late game, and yeah, Clem is like the absolute best at that. So.
Yep. Already 9 ghosts out on the map. How do you guys, both of you as Terran players, feel about all the changes that the ghosts have gone through? Would you say it's a little bit more pleasant again now it's a 2-supply ghost?
I feel in TVZ it's kinda the same because they made it light, but I think ghosts are much better in TVP. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in
But
this
like only in
matchup,
high numbers, right? Like, like the first goals are not that like much better. The first goals are kind of the same. They just a little bit more supply, but like the against Toss the thing is like now they have more HP, so even they can tank a disruptor hit. And a lot of times in late game, Toss doesn't have Colossus, which is the only like
really
real
like
counter to the Ghost.
Hold position Lurkers, by the way, over here in the center of the map. Oh, maybe not on hold position as they kind of fire immediately. We're still getting some big shots
he
off.
killed 4 ghosts with it.
Yeah, but there's so many ghosts that we lose 5 Lurkers, we kill 4 ghosts. Do we love it?
It's I think fine. I feel like it's fine. It's not super good, but it's fine.
Well, considering how much gas like Reynor has, I don't think it's like that good for him.
No, I feel like that would have been good if there was something else happening. If Reynor is jumping on a planetary somewhere or having
or if he would have had it on hold position, like you said.
yeah, and then
it would
maybe
have
the
been
army
sick.
shows up and then we get a great engagement. Now I think it wasn't the worst thing ever, but I actually think that Clem in the end may be slightly happier with that trade than Reynor is. So Reynor got up to 19 Overseers now. As you guys can see, he's just dropping changed links. We have double Nidus network coming online as well over here in the natural. So Reynor clearly is going to try to get some Nidus networks up behind enemy lines. Until Clem has Liberators, that can obviously be very deadly. Once Libs are out, it might be a tiny bit easier. But I think on this map in particular, Reynor is going to have a tough time getting any Niduses up. in any of the original 3 bases of Clem.
For sure, yeah.
Do you think he will switch later to bootboards? What's the late game composition? In my games, most Zerg players play late game like bootboards, but I don't know if it's like in this level as well the case. Like, what do you guys think? What will Reynor transition into later on the
I think
game?
it's mostly going to be Ling Bane, obviously with very good upgrades, and the Lurkers, couple of Infestors, try to land some Fungals, and try to pick him apart with Nidus attacks. I don't think we're now looking to go either Ultras or Broodlords. I think this is kind of what it is. And then maybe when Clem is very Ghost heavy, we'll go very Ling Bane heavy, and if there's less Ghost, we show up with more Lurkers again.
I definitely don't think there's going to be, so far at least, a Brooklord game. I think he just got this buyer because it's going to be a heavy Liberator, and then Corruptors need to be made against a heavy Liberator count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clem is on 5 bases. Reynor does have a Nidus coming online over here at 3 o'clock. The armies are getting dangerously close to each other in the bottom left side. Liberator count is 6. Advanced Ballistics is also done on the side of Clem, as Clem is already getting +2 armor, by the way, for his air units. And those benches from the early game are still alive too, so they're going to help out as well. That's going to give him some constant DPS at home. We do have the Hydras and the Infestors trying to get on top of this Terran army. And we had a couple of pretty juicy Bane connections. Should have gone down this final lip. I feel like this lip was quite exposed. It's a cute idea by Reynor, trying to like distract Clem with the Nidus networks while jumping on the army. Clem's army is so big and powerful that even when you jump on it, it's still gonna do okay.
Yeah. It looks so easy what Clem does, but it's so hard to be like good in a defensive and then straight up attacking also, like how he attacks. Like you can fall apart so fast if you one time not look at your base and one of these Niduses comes through, and this will become a big problem.
Clem so far has spotted pretty much every single one of them, and he's going to be all over this Nidus as well. And Reynor is very rich, but there is a moment where this is actually going to be somewhat expensive for you as a Zerg player. We're going up to 20 Banelings as Reynor is perhaps looking for his next engagement. Reynor knows that the ghost count is ridiculously high right now. We've got 19 of them. So Reynor is not that lurker heavy. He is just looking for these Banelings to connect, but that's a lot of Liberators, that's a lot of circles. Reynor cannot attack into that.
I'm not sure when exactly he wants to start making Corruptors, because if the Liberator count is that high, I definitely think he has to be making Corruptors at some point. He's already not like getting Lurkers anymore.
Nice micro by Clem there, but Reynor did at least get the command center. We're going to try to get another Nidus up. This is a planetary. There's a couple of Widow Mines and a couple sensors, or a single sensor tower and missile turrets in the mix too. Clem is just chasing down his army. The Hydra's turned around for a little bit, gone down and lip.
Oh god, this spot by Clem.
Well, is Reynor's best choice here, guys, to just counterattack and try to maybe like sort of base trade? Because fighting this army, like how do we fight this army? We need to land a Fungal right, or maybe like this from the ramp.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you fight the army.
By completely ambushing them. Clem wasn't ready. Clem did still do a good job though.
I think Clem got distracted by the bottom base. That's what I said, that if you don't look once, then you get directly punished.
Reynor now knows that most of these ghosts are out of position, so he's going to try to get the center planetary, and he will do that with his Hydras, his Lings, his Banelings, while those Lurkers are still being annoying in the bottom side of the map. These are a couple of great moments for Reynor. Definitely something I think Reynor needed, because this game was starting to look very problematic, with Clem just kind of building his dream army. This was very strong by Reynor, but obviously needs more.
Yeah, exactly.
Clem's economy right now is non-existent, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, Reynor doesn't have the top side of the map yet, so I don't think Clem starts being on a timer the moment Reynor has the top right base, and he's like very far away from that, so
And
I think Clem is still fine.
And Reynor's bases will be soon like dry out. I think it's not many minerals left on some of the bases.
The Banshees of Clem very casually killing the gold. That's obviously massive. Winning the fight against the Spore as well. Armies are dangerously close to each other in the center of the map. Hydra stand in the circles. Kill a few of the Liberators, but not that many. But Reynor is everywhere on the other side of the map. The Lings are all over the triangle base. We have a Nidus that is online in the main. but Clem is on top of it with a couple of lips, so it's mostly about this army right now. Reynor is trying to crank out a few extra links. We have 2 lurkers somewhere, I'm not exactly sure where they are. This is no longer a planetary.
Corruptor already? Like, he really needs some corruptors.
I mean, I'm not sure if he needs them. I think he's just trying to outposition the Liberators. That works as well.
How bad he trades.
So,
Ah,
the Liberators seem kind of unkillable right now. I do think he needs to make Corruptors, otherwise he's never going to be able to clean the army.
Reynor's got a massive bank though, guys, so if he wants to build Corruptors, he definitely can, as long as we don't run out of larva. We are temporarily a little bit low on larva, but the link counterattacks by Reynor have been fantastic. He is denying this base from landing as well. Clem may have taken a couple of pretty okay straight up fights, but Reynor is already rebuilding that gold. It is done even. That is how quickly things go. Still a couple of links going ham on these SCVs. Clem needs to react, but there's still an army that's chasing down the Liberators of Clem, and Reynor's firing up 4 Vipers, which I also don't hate against all these libs. 12 Liberators, 9 Medivacs. It's a good day to just spam some parasitic bombs.
Vipers are a good decision as well. Like, Vipers in this situation are also really, really fine, I feel like. Yeah, plus if they are clumped up, it's even better than Corruptor, I feel like.
Reynor was in a lot of trouble in his semi-finals against Christiana, but he's definitely putting up a very good fight during game 1 against Clem. Is unfortunately for him losing the gold once more. Was wondering if there was another opening in the center. There wasn't, but Reynor, his army supply right now is for the first time in a while very close to the army supply of Clem. Clem left 4 Widow Mines behind here, so that is going to be -8 supply on Clem's side. I think Clem most likely just trying to re-establish something that resembles an economy, because without this base mining and this base being attacked over and over again, like Clem had no eco anymore.
I'm scared for Clem. Like, the situation looks really, really good for Reynor at the moment. He even has still a bank, and Clem gets, at the moment he outmines Reynor, but he has like mules, but when the bases dry out, it will become a problem. And the top right base, I guess the most important base in the game. If someone can get this base, I think this guy will win this game.
So Gabe, earlier you mentioned how important that top right side base is. Can you elaborate on that? Like, why is the top right base so crucial in a Reynor Clem game 20 minutes in?
I mean, so there's also the gold base. So both of the players always have a 6 base set up on this map. However, taking the next base is kind of difficult. And the gold base is usually not that important because it has less money. So it really comes down to the base with more money in the top right, and this is actually a really good fight for Reynor, I feel like.
Parasitic bombs for days, and Banelings are connecting with the SCVs, but more importantly with the Ghost. Another orbital goes down on the side of Clem. Now Clem does have 8 of them, so he can float over another one, but you guys mentioned it, Reynor's at a healthier bank. Reynor can afford these trades, Clem cannot. Like, those parabombs were big. In the beginning of this battle, as you were explaining what I asked you, Gabe, we saw a couple of EMPs go down, but only 1 of the 4 Vipers got EMP'd.
Yeah, it's very difficult to land the EMP sometimes. Like, if just 1 parabomb can make like all the difference, basically. Yeah.
As a man who likes spamming Phoenix, I can tell you, parabomb hurts.
Clem didn't know about the Vipers there yet. It was like the first time that he saw the Vipers, I guess.
I think you're correct, because he was hiding them over here for a while until he had all the energy.
That was the problem. He was not prepared for them, and Reynor abused this fact, and that's why he got this kind of trade.
Hydroling Bane with a couple of Vipers on the top left side of our screen. This time Reynor did not manage to get Banelings into the mineral line, so Clem saves at least some of his SCVs, but he's down to 27. And yes, mules are great, especially with 8 orbitals.
The scary part for Reynor is Clem has still a big army, 150 supply army. He has to be careful. Like, it's not like he's like absolutely winning. Like, this game is still not over. I think like Clem can still manage to beat Reynor in this map.
Also, like, the longer a game like this goes in late game TVZ, it comes down even more to the last bases, because the longer a game goes and the Terran is not broken, the better it is for the Terran, because he's more cost efficient.
Oh, parasitic bomb! But it's so hard to micro against the power bombs when there's also 40 Banelings heading towards your goals, and that is another dead orbital while we had some Nidus attacks happening in the main base. Clem also feels that it's enough defending, so now he wants to make something happen. As Reynor has turned around with his main army, the Hydras dash into the Liberators, gone down a couple of them. These guys are fighting at 2, if not 3 different locations in any given moment. Clem does kill the gold again, but Reynor has a couple of links coming out that's going to push this bio army back. And Reynor once more, there are still so many Banelings, 28 of them in total. Does not get this orbital. Clem does a good job in saving some key units there, but Clem, his supply truly says it all.
Yeah, and the income also is his favorite. Yeah.
GG guys, Reynor takes the 1-0 lead after a 25-minute slugfest on Taito Citadel. Fantastic first game of the upper bracket final.
Yeah, that was quite a game.
Where do you think Reynor turned it around, Gabe?
Well, he did manage to catch Clem off guard sometimes, but I think this map is also not the best for late game Terran. I don't know, that's like my opinion. I actually I haven't really thought about TVZ, like what maps I like and what not. But I think this map is hard because it's kind of tough to defend that 6 base. 5 base is okay, but then like that 6 base is like so open and like there's so many angles you can get attacked from, and I think that made it really hard for Clem because like there were 2 fights on that base that pretty much determined the outcome of the game.
I think obviously when the Vipers showed up, the power bombs were massive, but that ambush early on, after things were not looking that hot for Reynor, when he just bomb rushed down that ramp, I think that was a pretty big turning point.
When you ask how should he deal against his army, then he showed us how to deal this army, and that was one of the turning points.
Yeah, but that kind of also then comes down to the very, very rare moment where Clem is not looking at his army. Like, how many times in the best of 5 are you gonna get a fight like that with Hydra Ling against Clem?
To be fair, he made it. Like, he put everywhere Niduses, lurkers there, and so he forced this mistake.
Yeah, Clem did have a really good response through the Niduses throughout the entire game. Even in the end there at like minute 23, there's a fight happening in the center, they're battling over the gold in the bottom left. Nidus goes up and like, you take a look at it, a second later Marines are stepping forward. So that's pretty sick.
So crazy fast, both players.
If you want to stick around, Gabe, I would love it, but if you want to go back to your kitchen, that's of course also fine.
I'm gonna finish making pizza. I think after this we're gonna potentially might do the giveaway already soon.
The raffle. You want to talk about the raffle? Do you want to talk about our amazing partner, Razer?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we got some Razer sent out some stuff, a mouse, a keyboard, like a headset. Special thing is, I asked them if they could send like the stuff that I'm using. So there's all stuff.
So it's very genuine promotion here.
Yeah, that's all stuff that I'm using as well. So we got like 2 sets basically: keyboard, mouse, headset.
What if Musti wins all 3? Will he play like you, Gabe?
Maybe. No, you can't. Everybody just got one ticket.
Okay, so we can only win 1 of 3. You can be 33%, Gabe. That's, I mean, knowing Gabe's size, 33% of Gabe's pretty good.
Yeah, so soon
boost my game.
Soon we're gonna give these away to all the people here. 6 winners.
Yep. I'm excited.
Maybe we'll do after this year, maybe a little bit longer. I mean,
earlier I thought maybe after the lower bracket final, but then maybe some people already have to go. But I mean, it's Saturday in Cologne, everyone's sticking around. All right, Gabe, thank you so much. I'm happy that you casted that first game. Game 2 is already on the way.
Marcus gonna join?
Yeah, I think.
U-Thermal, right?
Yes, U-Thermal was gonna come, but we have to go into our game because something feisty is happening,
all right, guys. See you after the pizza.
Thank you, Gabe, for the amazing pizza. I look forward to trying some more.
I will also leave then.
Okay. All right, well, the German Terran brothers travel together. Top right side of Tourmaline taking the 1-0 lead in the upper bracket final of this live Starcraft 2 event in Cologne, Germany. It's BASILISK Reynor. And this man is being a little cheeky over here, down 0-1 in the upper bracket final. Of course, both of them will have a lower bracket to still fight in if this series does not go well. Representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. Clem is opening up with a depot and a barracks on the low ground. One of you guys have better vision of the minimap than I do. You have definitely spotted that there is a second barracks in production. So I do believe, guys, that I have U-Thermal, who will be joining me. I asked him before the series and he said like, just give me a little break. Can I join in game 2 or 3? I was like, yeah, of course you can. And here he is. You can sit in the middle if you want, mate. Then we're a bit closer to each other. He's here. We already have, I mean, what a moment for Utomo to enter the broadcast as we have a bunch of Reapers.
Reapers.
Welcome, welcome, mate. How are we doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
So it's a 1 Rex on the low ground, but there is a proxy Rex on the other side of the map for the man who's down 0-1 in this series.
The first game was a long late game, right?
Yeah, like 25 minutes, Taito Citadel, lots of Niders, Lurkers, Ghosts, Liberators, Banelings, everything.
I think I might have gotten in Clem's head. Because since the start of the day, I told him he would get third.
Really?
Yeah,
You've been telling him?
Yeah.
For no reason at all?
No, I felt it. I said Reynor was going to be first.
Yeah.
Skillis was going to get second. And Clem was going to get third. And Lambo was going to get fourth.
Okay, and it's all still possible?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
All right, well, welcome, obviously, Utomo. It's awesome that you want to join us for this upper bracket finals. Just looking at the state of this game quickly, you have a lot of experience building Reapers in the early game of TVZ. Is Clem happy with how this is going, or does he need more?
I don't think he's happy yet. It's you usually want to catch him off guard and kill a bunch of drones right away. Here the big problem is that he has to fly the barracks all the way back, so he's not going to have the benefit of the extra racks, and he doesn't have Hellions yet, so now he's going to have to chill for a while, and then Reynor can drone all the way back up.
How do we feel about the tournament line overall? Do you feel like this is a map that Zork players should get excited over, or anybody's game?
Yeah, I actually don't know. I just know that I don't like it. But I have no idea if that's like... If I look at it, it feels like it should be pretty good for Terran, I think, because you can tank push this base from the low ground. But, yeah, I mean, I don't like it, so if we go off of that, then Reynor's going to be happy with this one.
As we take a little look at this game just developing into a quote-unquote standard game, is this the first time or the second time that you're in this building?
The first time, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't go to the first edition of the Big Gabe Cup?
No.
What do you think of it?
I think it's great. It's very spacious. Yeah, no, it's very nice. It's way bigger than I thought it would be. There's a lot of people. It's good vibes. It's fantastic.
And we have to ask everyone, did we try the Big Gabe pizza?
I did try it, and it's... like, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge pizza fan, but I thought it was great. It's a good pizza.
I think that's the best recommendation you can get. So I am a pizza guy, and I definitely love the Big Gabe pizzas. But I want to get the pizza showdown between one of my friends, a young man from Germany who's very passionate about how to make pizzas. And he thinks Gabe can improve upon the way that he makes the pizza.
Okay. I mean, he probably can. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, Gabe's pretty good at most of the things he does. But all right, we have a couple of Hellions in the mix now for Clem as well. I'm obviously glad that you're here, Mark, and I'm glad that you're having a fun day. And you've played a couple of really exciting games as well. Like I casted game 2 and 3 against Gerald. How did we come up with this build, by the way?
Well, desperation, I guess. I played the first game. I thought it was going pretty well for me. Pretty standard macro game, I guess. Had no chance, and then I was like, yep, it's time. And then I figured I'd just do whatever.
Did you practice it, or was this like the first time you executed it like that?
Like that was the first time, I think. I do like to do Proxy Marauder. Just the one barracks, because it's very mind-gamey, but the Hellbats, I was like, I don't want to play macro games.
Oh, this is big, guys. This is massive for the man from Basilisk, because that was not a wall-off. So that is a bunch of links running into the natural, and Clem is not getting enough done on the other side of the map. A total disaster for the world champ of 2024, as Clem is losing a lot of SCVs here and is just not finding anything on the other side of the map. Reynor was shocking. I kept my eye on the mini-map. I saw him cry, and he's trying to get in with more. That's not going to work, but even getting reactors would be big. Besides, it's perhaps better to keep these units alive. The Banshees are wailing away at these roaches in the center of the map. I mean, Reynor's economy was not that big. Clem needs to lift the orbital, obviously, and Clem will lift the orbital. Looked very good for Reynor, and obviously was serious damage, but probably hoped for a little bit more from all those follow-up units.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to look at the drone count and see only 33 when he didn't have that many roaches on the follow-up. For a second, I was wondering if he was going to bring the Queens even because the drone count was so low, but now he's back up to 50 and is going for the Spire. It's my favorite follow-up to Zerg memes. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be entirely happy with that.
Crazy amount of damage, but since we did so much damage to our own economy and we made all those roaches, well, maybe he felt that he was forced to make those roaches. Depot does get erased in the end. There are no SCVs to kill here, so nothing for Reynor to be found. That means that the Italians are now going to get a couple of big shots off. Clem did an amazing job in the end keeping all of that together, and now he's probably even quite happy with his position. Should have not taken that much damage from the Lings in the first place. Well, now looking at it, it's not all that bad. Stim is done, combat shield halfway through.
He is playing with only one engineering bay though, unless he forgot one of the upgrades. Looks like he did forget one. Yeah, okay, that's. Well, it's not the biggest.
He forgot
deal
the
ever.
right one.
Yeah, correct, exactly. It's not the Beyond moment where he only gets armor. No, that's good.
Reynor keeps on trying to be as annoying as humanly possible with his links and gets on top of a naked the third base. A little bit of lost mining time for Clem and a couple of dead SCVs. Clem just threw down a scan, by the way. I finally found an angle where I can properly see my minimap. This should greatly improve my observing. And he spotted the spy. That's a big scan for Clem.
I do feel like Clem is usually good against this kind of muta play. Like myself, I'm a fan of it because very often you'll see Terrans move out, the mutas jump on the medevacs, and it's instantly super good. But Clem, I've seen him play against it a couple times, and he really seems to know what he's doing against it. Somehow reads the game. I mean, this time he got a scan, probably not going to move out, and then he's just going to be up by 3 upgrades, which is going to be very painful.
Yeah, since Reynor doesn't have evolution chambers yet, it almost feels that Reynor is now putting himself in a spot where he needs to make that crazy Ling Bane attack. But if you're doing that into a Clem that's expecting the attack, how likely is it that it's going to get a lot done?
I guess that probably shows that he didn't think that he was in a great spot after the attack, because otherwise it's more likely that he would have added 2 Evos or at least the 4th base a little earlier. He's going to add them now, but I'm not sure if that's, out of desperation because he has to, or if he actually wanted to do that.
It's a great catch, by the way. That was not a guaranteed win for those Zerglings, but Reynor does finally take care of those. Clem had 3 Banshees, is still finding some value with these Banshees. It's we're killing the Queen. 2 out of 3 remain. Mutas do show up and reveal their position. Clem obviously knew about the spy, knew about the Mutas. I'm gonna get some drilling claws. Wouldn't hate. Well, we have 3 turrets actually. I think that's fine with the amount of bio units that he has. I mean, Clem's army in a straight-up fight is just very powerful. I like that Reynor is going for Burrow. I'm a big believer in Burrow because I also think he needs something magical here. Because in the straight-up fight, he's just not gonna win.
This is the kind of game where you could make it happen from, from behind. If you get the Banelings connecting at the front when a Terran gets desperate, Mutas get counter damage. But once again, Clem is so good against these kind of things.
I'm also leaving a mine in the middle just to give himself a bit of extra map vision. Was trying to get a sensor tower up there just to make his life a little bit easier when it comes to keeping track of these Mutas. Reynor, Baneling speed is done. Baneling count 21. That's actually a serious amount of Banelings. What Reynor is very good at is forcing Clem to maybe keep a lot of units at home to deal with these Mutas and then, make the Mutas bounce back and then see if he can find a favorable fight for the Zerg on this side of the map. And Reynor is going to get the tanks. It's hard for Clem right now to get out of here, but he's bringing over the reinforcements. That's a lot of guys with gun, and that is Clem Micro. I mean, I love what Reynor was thinking there, but Clem just read it. Clem saw it coming.
Perfect timing on the reinforcement.
Oh!
That was like 25 Marines or something. That was insane.
Behind the trees, so quick we didn't even see it. Reynor gets barreled Banelings out of nowhere. And that made it even better that we didn't see it. That was sick. Obviously Reynor needed that. And Reynor's still in a bit of trouble. That was massive. Burrows 2 more over here in the side blocker.
Yeah, I mean, if I was him, I'd just keep doing it over and over now, because that's... Oh, that's so close. It always is, right?
Yeah, it often is, and then it doesn't work this time. Clem did throw down a scan, and he actually caught those initial Banelings that Reynor left behind.
Barely not enough Banelings there for Reynor, and he was also missing the 1-1 in that fight, which really would have helped quite a lot.
Big Daddy Thor in the mix. There's a medevac here as well. Reynor wisely goes for the medevac immediately. Otherwise, we know that Clem is obviously going to save it. Reynor is doing his absolute best just to buy some time with these Mutas, and he is going to successfully pull Clem back. This is really turning into a vintage Reynor versus Clem series already, with just a lot of very cool fights and engagement. The pacing is just always so high between these kids.
As a Terran, I would be terrified of having this game against Reynor because he really wasn't in a good spot at all, but then he always makes it so close and so action-packed and makes it... If you get hit by burrowed Banelings or a counter-attack, ooh, it's a good Baneling hit as well. It makes you very nervous and shaky. You have to be so on your toes all the time.
Clem has 38 Marines, 1 more Thor, and 9 Widow Mines, and these Widow Mines are going to be everywhere. Reynor needs to be awfully careful with these Mutas. He is going to jump on the missile turret. Insta repair by Clem. Is that good enough? Not enough, but there are 2 Widow Mines here. There's more Widow Mines above this army. As Clem does lose 20 SCVs, loses a couple of the Marines as well, but all these Mutas are mega low on HP. Is Clem going to repair this turret? He will try. Oh, we should be able to do a lot with this army now if Clem. But Clem is a bit worried, stepping on creep. Reynor, his Mudas are kind of cooking right now, Mark.
That is 10 times as much damage as I think anyone expected there. Suddenly supplies are even. Obviously Clem's army is still massive, but if Baneling connects, magic can always happen.
And there's 21 Banelings in the mix. One Widowmine fires. Banelings for days. Clem is going to micro like the French god that he is. Very good save on at least a couple of these units. But there's just so much Zerg. And the Mudas, they're still going ham, but there's so many Widowmines here. Reynor has no Overseer in the mix.
This is actually incredible play by Reynor. If he manages to get enough Banelings out to not die to a counter, keep these Mutas on the other side, this is going to be actually somehow difficult for Clem to close out, even though he has 3-2 upgrades against 1-1.
And the most annoying thing for Clem is probably that he thought he was pretty much already there, right? I was like, he just made so many good moves and got himself in a favorable spot. And it's those burrowed Banelings behind the trees that made it hard for us to catch it. That have kind of turned this game around. Fantastic Muda movement as well by Reynor. Reynor is obviously still down in army supply. Reynor does not have Hive, so we don't have Adrenal Glands. And Reynor has never been that rich. And did a lot of damage with those Mudas. Oh, getting the Thoria would be sick. There's a Widowmine. We need to split the Muda. We don't split the Muda, and that is kind of dangerous.
It's always such an annoying moment against the Terran when you think you're going to get the medevac or the unit, but then a little bit of Clem pick up micro or reinforcements coming from downtown.
Reynor does have a lot of Banelings here. Widowmines, I think most of them have fired. There's one Widowmine there that has not burrowed yet, could have fired. Clem does do, I think, a good job in saving these units. Reinforcements have arrived. Links and more links over here. The natural links in the main base. Links everywhere. Widowmines getting a couple of shots off. What a game between these two. I mean, the minimap is just blinking everywhere. And even Clem right now is having a couple of misrallies. And that just goes to show how hectic this game is.
Also, Reynor got +2 armor now, which makes his army way stronger. I think Clem is really in disbelief as to what's happening right now. He sent his army to the right side, and then there was no base there. Probably thought he was going to win, but Reynor is making so much happen.
Clem does have a few Marines on the other side of the map, but Clem's economy is in shambles, and the minimap is still blinking. Over in the third, over in the natural. There are some friendly fire Widowmine shots here. Also some big connections on Zerg units with 21 SCVs falling. Clem, his little Marine drop, did successfully gone down this hatchery.
And it's a really important base as well, because normally when you see Zerg attacking, you kind of, you know, they have 5 or 6 hatches behind it. Here, Reynor doesn't actually have a real mining base. In fact, Clem is probably mining more than Reynor right now outside of the gas.
Yeah, we're mining.
Yeah.
The gas mining is 0. Reynor did leave a couple of burrowed Zerglings behind that he could unburrow. But you're spot on. That was an incredibly crucial base for Reynor. Now Reynor forced to do something that he likes to bully me for, and that is long distance mining. But sometimes this is the best thing you can do. As we have unburrowed these things, just trying to keep Clem busy for a little while. Let's take a look at the Baneling count right now is 0, Euthermal.
You could tell earlier, by the way, that Clem thought he was in a worse position than he was because of his army movement. You always want to go to the outside base, and then he found not even creep there. Well, this looks to be a very painful push because there's not that many Banelings out yet, only 10 finish. There are 12 medevacs, they're all red HP. If Reynor could somehow clean those up, that could be a successful start to the fight, but it's looking rough here.
Yeah, Reynor's not really taking that fight. Reynor is just going to try to deal more counter damage with his Mudas, and that could be a dead planetary. Clem obviously needs to make certain that he doesn't run out of scans or something, because there could be some burrowed Banelings. We are on creep. Clem left a couple of Widowmines behind. The Mudas are going to kill almost every single SCV, even though Clem has done a good job in rebuilding them. Reynor, his Mudas are doing whatever they can, but the rest of the army of Reynor is basically non-existent. We've got 24 links, 18 Banelings, but these are not Hive-Tech Zerglings, and Clem has made it all the way into the main base of Reynor.
Yeah, the only thing that can happen now for Reynor is some absolutely magical burrowed Banelings as he's losing his lair, not even a hive like we mentioned before. Now, Clem's bases are in danger as well, but his army is just so freaking massive.
And Clem left enough firepower at home. Perhaps there is a danger of being like eliminated by a Muda Ling, but Clem left more than enough Widowmines and Marines behind to prevent that. And even if Reynor finally wins this fight, he's going to lose so many forces that he can never ever eliminate Clem. At one point, Reynor is actually going to be the one who's in danger of getting eliminated, as we are down to 11 drones. One drone has made it to the other side of the rocks, but it seems that this one, as fun and as explosive and as exciting as it has been, is all over, and it will still go Clem's way.
Wow.
But it is safe to say that he absolutely had to work for it. What a game.
And now I'm curious how the mental is going to be. Because in a game like that, as a Terran, you're not going to be that happy because you're in a great spot, and then you have to fight so hard to win. And you still have to win 2 more games, so that's a little bit of a scary prospect.
Yeah, but Clem probably also thinks like, hey, if I don't let those links get in early on, if I don't take all that economic damage, I would have been in an even better spot than I ended up being in. And I think they both had a lot of great moments in that game. Obviously, playing ZVT from the Zerg's point of view, once you start falling economically behind and behind in upgrades, like it's technically impossible, unless you have something magical like the Fungal of Dreams, or in this case, the Burrowed Banelings that were incredibly well played. So that was really fun. Yeah, I don't know. I think these kids, they have so much history, and I said it in the beginning. I feel like very rarely do they have a very one-sided series against one another. Like more often than not, it is very close and it is swinging for the fences. Recently, a couple of 3-2s that have gone either way. You think back of the Poland event last year, that was right after EWC. Mega close and competitive games as well. Like, I feel like they always kind of know what they get into with each other, but they love it. They live for it.
I like Reynor always really brings it against Clem as well. Like every Zerg in the world, including Serral himself, always terrified of playing against Clem or Reynor. It doesn't even matter if he's in good shape, bad shape, but when it's about playing Clem, it's on, you know. And he's showing that here.
Reynor can
so
struggle with the 6.1k barcode Protoss, but the moment you put him against Clem, like it's kind of brings out a very good side in him. And this is an exciting start to our upper bracket finals. Absolutely not the grand finals. There is way more Starcraft to come. We do have a lower bracket that is still in full force. And then there is also the third bracket. That's the elimination bracket. That's where people fight all the way up to determine who finishes in 9th place. Because Gabe has done something very cool, and that is that the entire top 12 gets paid, and also just a chance for some of the guys that lose early in the first round of the upper bracket and lower bracket to still have a few more games to play. So the third bracket on Wikipedia is one that you can ignore, but the upper bracket and the lower bracket obviously matter, and there are many more series to be played. Now, what is guaranteed is that both of these guys are guaranteed top 3, as it is the upper bracket finals. In the bottom right side of Winter Madness, playing an amazing series so far, as we're all tied up. Team Liquid's Clem. Die-hard Clem fan.
Yeah, I heard it. And then at the top left, losing the last game but playing amazingly, it's BASILISK Reynor. It's just BASILISK, right? Not Team BASILISK.
You got it, mate.
I remember, right? Yeah.
You nailed it.
I had a moment of hesitation. I was like,
no, this is perfect. They're
Nice.
very happy as well. Because in the past, there was some moment where someone was like, representing Team BASILISK. And I got a DM, they're like, hey, can you let them know? It's like, it's just BASILISK. I was like, of course. You're spot on. How's everything else been, Mark? What did we do over the Christmas and, well, New Year's holidays?
I had a really nice 2 weeks in the holidays. Went for a full family vacation to Sweden. I have family living there.
Oh, in Sweden?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we were just in the middle of nowhere on a lake. It
Near
snowed.
Jon Shopping or what?
Pretty close, actually. About 2 hours away.
When I went to the DreamHack once, I was like, man, I can actually see myself like, if I'm like semi-retired, this would be an amazing place to live.
It's a nice place, yeah.
It's so peaceful. Hey, that sounds very cool. I didn't know you had any family that lived in Sweden.
Yeah, my family went everywhere. I think we're basically the last part of the family living in the Netherlands. There's some in Denmark and Sweden and Switzerland. It's kind of all over. And then it snowed for 1 day, and that was on Christmas. So we had a white Christmas, and then it went away again. It was delicious.
I thought it was kind of funny. Obviously, in the Netherlands, a lot of people were hoping for white Christmas. Everyone's like, come on, guys, it doesn't snow in the Netherlands. Like, get these pipe dreams out of here. And like, a week after Christmas, this is the most amount of snow that I've seen in the Netherlands in like 2 decades or something.
Yeah.
I know 4 years ago, we had like a decent amount of snow, and that was definitely a layer. But what happened, at least where I lived a couple days ago, was insane. It was so much.
Yeah, the last time it happened, it was very cold, but not that snowy. It was like minus 15.
Oh.
Now it's not that cold, but it's incredibly snowy.
Oh, well. Is there anything in particular that you love from the TVZ point of view on Winter Madness, or do you think that this is just as a standard and macro-oriented as a map as it gets? Or as it comes?
I think it's a little difficult to deal with run-bys on this map. It feels nice to attack because it has especially thinking about Hellions, right? It feels like there's a lot of paths. It's kind of hard for the queens to cover the entire area, but if you're pushing from a third base, it feels pretty difficult to deal with run-by. So I would rather play more for the late game here. Ooh, that's a really good block there by Reynor.
Yeah.
Reaper should fall.
Yeah, we're very stuck, right? From here on out, there's not really any saving this Reaper. It's always going to be in range, Waitling movement there as well, but not even Clem can save that Reaper. Yeah, that was very cute. Just move the units over immediately. Didn't even know that was a thing, but
Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter that much to lose the Reaper unless Reynor's gonna go for some cheeky roach play.
Hey, wait, I pressed the wrong button.
You did?
And they switch colors, by the way. This is when people get annoyed. They're like, oh, they're in the wrong frame. But let's do this. Now it's better.
I don't know what changed, but...
So there's a little frame around the border, around the camera. So now Clem is the blue one. And before it was switched. And like, the border is wrong.
So does Clem still play the same 2 builds most of the games? Like Banshee or 2-on-1 after a 3cc? Is that still what you see a lot? Or?
I think the triple CC one is the one that I see slightly more than the one of the 2 bases where he has a later third. But I mean, I feel like almost 99% of the time when I cast Clem, he's playing TVP or PVT.
Yeah, checks out.
Like it's actually quite rare to be casting high-level TVZ games of Clem. Like once in a while he runs into Solar in Online Cup or Shin, but don't really have the luxury of casting a crazy amount of Clem TVZ these days.
Would you still consider it to be his best matchup then? Because that's where he was known for initially.
It might just be PVT, man.
Yeah, it could be. I felt it, trust me.
No, his PVT is very good. But I will always rate Clem's TVZ. Yeah, and it's also, I think in particular, the games against Reynor can be close because stylistically they're just such a good match for each other since they both rely on speed and rely on outmaneuvering their opponent. I think in the slightly slower placed TVZs, like Clem is going to be as untouchable as always because he's so good in like calculating how many goals he needs, where he needs to put all these units. It's just like when it comes to Clem versus Reynor, it's like they both met their match, and now it's just like all out guns blazing. And sometimes it goes Reynor's way, sometimes it goes Clem's way. I think it's more like it depends a bit more on the kind of Zerg that he plays against and the kind of Protoss that he perhaps plays against. It's hard to say what he's best at overall, but I'm sure he's still very comfortable in the matchup.
It's a very tough skirmish for Reynor so far. I think he lost 3 queens. Yeah, that is
pain.
Not what you want at all. He's probably gonna have to cancel this 4th base as well.
That is pain if we're trying to play a big eco Ling Bane Muda style.
How many queens does he have left? Does he have enough queens?
3.
Oh, he does still have 3 queens, okay.
Yeah, but his hatchery is very, very low on HP. Reynor is going to jump on these aliens. Clem does get a few more shots off on the hatchery, and Reynor does not want to lose all those resources. So he is forced to cancel it. He's actually losing almost all of his links as well. These 2 queens could be in a bit of trouble because Clem's micro is insane, and these low HP Banshees were still able to get extra hits off, and they're still participating in the fight. And this was big for Clem.
Yeah, I feel like Clem is actually one of the only Terrans that maximizes the Banshee. A lot of Terrans kind of treat it like a... You get the workers and then it becomes a throwaway unit almost. Like some people patrol it in a run-by path, but Clem really pretty much tryhards the entire game. The last game I used them even when the mutas were still already out and got damage done.
And in game 1, to your point, I know you didn't see all of it, but the Banshees were still alive at minute 16, helping out against Nidus Networks defensively.
That's sick.
So he was active with them, he harassed, he battled, and then he brought them home, repaired them, and he made sure that they were that extra bit of DPS that made his life a bit easier against the Nidus attacks.
Every Terran wondering how he plays without F2. It's like... I've actually read some comments on that before from other pro Terrans. We used to have a Terran Discord, and it was like a game of, I think, Maru against Trap or another Protoss. And the Banshee stayed in the corner the entire game, and all they commented on was like,
how did he do it?
How did he not have 2 them? That's crazy.
Yeah. Like right now on this patch, Protoss players are really forced to use F2 a lot less because surveillance mode was such a big thing of how a lot of high-level Protoss players played in the Observer. And it's actually like a severe nerve against the F2 spammers because you just have so much less vision without putting ops in surveillance mode, and obviously you cannot use F2, but then you need to learn how to do that again. Reynor is killing a few SCVs on the other side of the map, but I want to see how this skirmish goes. Clem's micro back to these tanks is just perfect, and this is really turning into a bit of a rough game for Reynor, who is finding something with his mutas, but something is not what he needs. Reynor needs a lot, as we were already forced to cancel this hatchery. Now we're going to lose it. We lose a muta at the spawn as well. It's starting to look like game 3 is all Clem. I mean, all that Clem really needs is find 3 queens early on, and he can build upon that momentum like nobody else.
Here it actually really mattered a lot, because when you play Mutalist, you really want to swarm your opponent's first push, and that's when you find yourself in a good spot. But I think he had to rebuild, I don't know, up to 5 queens. At some point he went down to 3, and now he's back up at 7. Very, very expensive. Had to cancel the 4th base, lost a lot of links as well, and it really lost him the ability to be able to crush that push with momentum.
We do at least have double Evo on Reynor's side, and he has Bailing speed. I don't think we've made a single Bailing so far in this game. But we do have Bailing speed. We're gonna morph our first few Bailings, but Clem can obviously slow the game down now a little bit and just get a bigger army out. Make sure that we're capable of dealing with some of these circling run-bys that are almost inevitable. And now he's also pushing towards the 4th base of Reynor. And Reynor no longer being as far away from Clem as he would probably like with this style. Oh, Clem's army is a little bit split up. Does this open the door for Reynor? Reynor is at least going to try. He gets the tanks.
That's a very good pickoff on the tanks. I didn't really look like he was going to get anything there with the Marines coming from both sides off creep, but then killing the tanks does remove a lot of power from the push. Just needs to make sure he has enough Bailings left, otherwise the Marines can really snowball very quickly.
We are going to try to get Burrow once more. It is 70% done, but Reynor will be forced to take a fight without it. Seems like we flew into a couple of Widow Mines there with Muda, so we end up losing a few more of those very expensive Mudalisk. Another cancel on the hatchery as well on the top side of the map. Reynor finds a stray Marine. He's going to try to jump maybe on these medevacs, but I'm worried for Reynor. Clem's army is ridiculously large. I mean, we're looking at 129 army supply on the side of Clem.
Yeah, he doesn't have Tutu finished yet, though. I think that's probably what he's waiting for. It's really awkward to play against this Muta movement by Reynor because Clem has to keep making decisions between going back, saving that one medevac in the back, or just going for it. At this point, I think he really wants to wait for at least 2-2, and then let's see if Reynor can bridge a 50 supply army supply gap.
Cute defense here, by the way, by Clem. Picking up the Thor and just dropping it into the main base, trying to get a couple of shots off on these Mudas, keeping a lot of these Mudalists busy. Mudas are kind of stuck now. This could be problematic. Reynor is maybe going to try to jump on this army, but it's still so many Marines. And without the Mudalisk here, I'm actually kind of worried. I think Reynor might try to free the Mudalisk. Well, he's going to go back into the main base, and Thor is no longer here. It's not high enough Muda count that it's terrifying for Clem.
Exactly, yeah. That last game we saw, I think at some point it was over 20 Mudas, and he flew into Widow Mines and turrets and Marines and still came out on top. But with 9 Mudas, it's even hard to kill a single turret being repaired. So this is a way different story.
Yeah, that was an explosive fight near the third. It's like everything sounds like any Muda survive, and obviously that HP regeneration is quite nice. Reynor is setting up a big Ling run by, but the depots are raised at least into the natural. Doors in the 3rd base somewhat open. Tank will fall. Couple SCVs are taking some damage. Mudalisk are working again on the barracks. Is this an army that Reynor can jump? It's pure Marine. It feels so fragile, but yet I kind of trust Clem that he knows what he's doing.
It's definitely very It's definitely very fragile. If there's no mines there at all, no marauders, no tanks, you cannot actually stay on creep for very long.
Oh, he's not moving the medevacs. Clem actually forgot to move the medevacs there for a little bit. Mudas are on top of it, and Bailings are underneath. It's going to be somewhat hard. The Mudas from the main base have flown into the missile turret and the Marines, though. And Clem is able to safely unload in the end. We left a couple of Bailings at the bottom of this ramp.
Hey. Satisfying. Every Zerg player satisfied. That's what we do it for.
Oh, that's a lot of mines. It would have been lovely for Reynor to actually pick up all those mines. Now they will recharge as another one already recharged and gets a shot off deep on creep.
Did Reynor lose every Muta in the main base earlier?
Yeah, because he brought them over here and Clem had a couple of Marines. There was a mine that helped out, a missile turret. As I think Reynor was trying to jump on these like fully loaded medevacs, but there was just so much firepower for Clem everywhere.
Yeah, that's very painful for Reynor because as magical as he's been with his units, a big part of the gameplay is to threaten the counters with multiple sets of units, the Mutas and the Zerglings. If the Mutas are not on the other side, Clem is going to be able to move across the map way more freely and set up Widow Mines.
Reynor is hard stuck on Lair Tech. Just when we say that, he fires up Hive immediately. He's like, I'm not. I was like, okay, well, it's good to see, because we'd love to see some Hive Tech Zerg gaming. He had the infestation pit. And he is going to be forced to fight Clem for a little while. At least we've got the +2 melee, +2 carapace, and +2 flyer attacks on the Mudas. Muda count is back up to 14. 2 more on the way. We have a couple of burrowed Bailings in the center of the map. Reynor could maybe jump on this army as there's no medevac support. There's a lot of Widow Mines, but really not that many Marines. A couple of Lings running into the 3rd base. This is nice for Reynor. Reynor keeps on finding openings very deep into Terran territory.
And the run-bys are fantastic, and they're even twice as bad as they would be with Adrenal. So if Reynor does get there, then all of a sudden Clem is going to have to be very scared. There's a really good fight there, especially because he's going to get 4 medevacs there as well. Burrow is incredibly annoying because he needs to use a scan or build another turret. Clem is down to 63 SCVs, which is not amazing.
But he does have 5 bases. Reynor has a couple of lings that he managed to unburrow as well. There's so many Widow Mines there. The lings do not jump on it. Clem had enough of it. He's like, hey, I was in a really good spot. My army was massive. It is a ginormous counterattack again by Reynor. That's going to have hurt Clem's economy even more. This time the doors are open, but Clem has 3-3. And 3-3 should do all right against these 2-2 Zerglings without Adrenal Glands. Even though Hive-Tech did just finish up, the armies are dangerously close to each other on the top side. We have a few Banelings, but it's nowhere near enough. We need way more.
If Reynor does clean up this fight, he has 18 Mutalisks, then he will also kill the Medivacs right away. So even though Clem's army supply is massive, if he gets a decent fight, it could end up being amazing. More than just decent. Started the fight, looks pretty good, but he is running out of Banelings already. A little bit of friendly fire from the Widowmine coming in. Very painful, and the supplies are actually looking quite healthy for Reynor somehow.
The Overseers did a 10 out of 10 job there in tanking all those Widow Mines to the face. And even though Clem obviously did not allow them to deal a lot of friendly fire, you know, them just soaking up all the mine shots actually kind of allowed the Lings and the Mutas to take a better fight than we initially expected. Clem doing Clem things there. He gone down casually. 7 Banelings. There is a Widow Mine here in the mix as well. Okay, that was a great exchange for Clem. Back to back.
Yeah, Reynor was getting a little jumpy there because he saw those Medivacs, he really wanted them. But just like many times, Clem just in time with the reinforcements. I just want to say, like, I don't know, 7 minutes ago I was going to say every Zerg player probably just loses this game, but I don't want to say it because it's Reynor and he's once again making real magic happen.
Making a game out of it, but is still down in upgrades, even if he is halfway through Adrenal Glands, and that's going to make those Lings a lot more feisty, especially when it comes to just run-bys and they're fighting Marines by themselves. There's still a lot of Widow Mines in the mix as well. Clem has 10 mines out on the field, and these mine shots are adding up. I've seen 5 big mine shots now within 60 seconds. That is problematic, because Reynor is not that rich. Oh my god!
That's disgusting.
Clem, get out of here! Clem, no!
That's disgusting.
He's so good.
That's a yellow card. That's not allowed.
This is just this is not
goodness.
okay. Oh, Kid is feeling it.
Yeah. Also, hard to see, but really good mine retargets on the right side earlier. Those weren't random Widow Mine shots, he was actually retargeting them. Very difficult to do when you're also running away with the Marines and then followed by those Baneling snipes. It's a little absurd sometimes.
I thought Baneling's got more HP, by the way.
Against me they do. I don't know about this game.
For most people, they do. Unfortunately, if you're Clem, you can still just stand there and gun them down. Reynor's Muta count is crazy high, though. Reynor still has a bit of fight left in him, even if the last 90 seconds were painful. We're going to jump on this command center, gun down a few SCVs. Clem is in time to save it with a couple of his Marines. Reynor back up to 19 Banelings, has Adrenal Glands now. A counterattack would be amazing. What can the Mutas do here? We're going to jump on 4 turrets and a mine that is risky.
Reynor's army is very high quality. It was very high on Muta and Baneling count. Nice burrow hit there as well. Muta's trying to do something in the main, but they can't. Now he's jumping on top of the army.
Not bad, to be honest.
Yeah, he's getting a pretty good fight. Doesn't quite have the Muta count to chase down the Medivacs, though.
Has to make sure that these Mutas do not get contained again by Widow Mines, Taurus, Marines. Oh, there's a Widow Mine in the mix as well. The mine is not burrowed. Reynor's like, wait a minute. In the center, it's pretty easy to get a few more SCVs. He has to be very cautious. He loses the Overseer now. Okay, the new Overseer does show up. Clem has units coming in from 3 different angles, but Reynor is all over this base near the rich Vespian guys that Clem did not take yet. Does not maybe matter, as minerals are perhaps more important for Clem. Clem is Widow Mine run by. Okay.
Yeah, this is a Terran move that you make if you've made too many Widow Mines. All of a sudden you have 20 with your army and you're like, oh crap.
Clem is pushing through the center. Reynor is nowhere near maxed out. Down 4D army supply. Almost impossible to fight the army of Clem straight up. Widow Mines have done a good job here in gunning down quite a few drones. Reynor is again looking for an opportunity to maybe jump on this base. Gets the Widow Mine. Is going to get most of the missile turrets as well, if not all of them. He's not going to get the planetary. Clem is near enough with too many units. And meanwhile, Clem does get another base on the top side of the map.
Yeah, Reynor got that planetary earlier, about the 6th base of Clem, but it just wasn't a very important base. Also lost like 10 Banelings to kill it or so. Wasn't mining, but he is losing his important bases. These Mutas are taking an absolute beating from that Thor. GG is called and Clem goes up 2-1.
What a series. What a game again. where both of them having a couple of very cool moments. Great Muda movement by Reynor, great Ling run by a couple of Banelings as well. But there was this 1 minute where Clem is like, all right, let's just do what I do best. And probably the only Terran player on the planet that can do that.
Probably, yeah.
He's just everywhere, and he's gunning down like 20 Banelings that are running towards his army. And then you have 4 big Widowmine connections. And even if you're playing your heart out, if you're Reynor, that's just too much. You can't recover.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious for the next game if he's gonna go for the mutas again, because the game so far kind of feel like he's behind, but he's making a lot work. So in his mind, he could be like, okay,
if I get a good start,
if I don't die in 7 minutes, then you know it's fantastic. But you also don't want to be too stubborn and stick to a style when you're losing.
And it's Mothership next. Mothership is a bit awkward for Mudas because of the air blockers around
bases. Oh
yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah. I'm not a Mothership fan overall, by the way. And I like the guy who made the map. He seems very friendly. He was vibing in the chat a few times. He's like, "Oh really? I made it. What do you not like about it?" You know, while I'm complaining, I was like, "Oh, well, I really thank you first of all for your contribution to the scene." But
yeah, for sure.
It's like 3-player maps, and I just kind of hate these air blockers around bases. I find it.
I don't actually mind 3 or 4 player maps. That's an unpopular opinion for pros, I know. But I don't actually mind the variety there as long as it's reasonably balanced. But as a Terran, every map that has air blockers is just gonna piss you off because your medevacs are just gonna derp like into the air blockers at every base. It's just you try to shift click one and you're like, where did my medevac go? It's still next to your base, derping in the air blocker. It's tough. Yeah, it must be tough for you building Phoenixes as well.
Oh man, it's so annoying. I have no idea.
Like an Oracle, you know, it's tough.
I don't think you want to see my oracles, Mark.
No?
The Phoenixes are off the oracles, so no way, no. Top right side of Mothership, the champion of the first edition ever of the Big Gabe XPERIONCRAFT Cup. He set out on the second edition, but he is back to defend his title at the Big Gabe XPERIONCRAFT Cup number 3, taking the 2-1 lead in the upper bracket final, representing Team Liquid, and of course the world champ of 2024. It is Clem.
And on the left side, we have probably the closest competitor with Clem, the man who makes magic happen. It's BASILISK Reynor.
The world champ 2021.
Yeah.
Got to be
and Gamers 8, which for me counts as a world championship, but
definitely big enough, definitely prestigious enough.
Yeah.
Also, Reynor made it to 3 World Championship finals in a row, which I think he's the only player to ever do that. Because he made it to the BlizzCon final where he lost against Dark, and then he won the following one. That was the Katowice one, because that was the official one.
Against Est,
And then a year later, he played against Serral in the grand finals. And
that was an mega banger, by the way.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That's also where we had like Serral's once-in-a-lifetime misread, where he ended up with a couple of Corruptors. And then there were like no Mudas, and the man randomly had Corruptors, because it was a bit of a meta of like building Roach Corruptor against Mudas, but Reynor was playing Hydras, so I ended up with Corruptors against Hydras.
And then the Roaches win anyway, because the Hydras
suck. Like that map did go Reynor's way.
Yeah, okay.
It's like Serral's one mistake in the last decade. He still loses sleep over it.
Yeah.
Should have known better.
Can't believe I only won 4-3. It's messed up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something cheeky here from Reynor. I don't know what I want to see. Maybe a cheeky Queen Ling drop or something like that.
That is his specialty against Clem, right? That is how he got a few maps against Clem on big tournaments. Also the EWC, where Clem was so untouchable. Reynor did take 2 maps of Clem, and one of them was with the Queen Ling drop.
You know, I gave him that build.
Really? On Ghost River? Yeah. He never said that. He said he cooked something up.
He was well. He probably made the build a little better.
Yeah.
I mean, I took it from Reaper, the NA Zerg.
Sick.
So I took it from Reaper and then I gave it to him because he was. I think he was playing Maru in GSL, and I was like, hey, this one. I mean, I know my Zerg is shit, but maybe it's pretty good. I think so. And then he took it, and I saw him beat Maru and Clem already. So
did you? Yeah, no, I do remember it. It was especially a popular choice for Reynor on the map Ghost River, that tiny 2-player map, top left, top right. I mean, that map was almost,
very good there.
Yeah, almost impossible to play a all-out macro game on. Except if you're Serral. Serral did it a few times, worked out against Maru and DreamHack Atlanta back then, finals, or whichever one that was. But Ghost River was very tough for Zerg, so Reynor liked that build. Yeah. So far, it doesn't look like it's anything too crazy yet, but I am agreeing with the vibes. So it's like 3-player map, especially with top left, top right, wouldn't be surprised if Reynor does something very aggressive or tries to catapult himself ahead into the mid game.
He doesn't do a lot of 1-1 roach, right?
No.
It's more either he all-ins fast or he doesn't.
Yeah, Reynor hates the roach in this matchup. He has
Okay.
kind of hated it for like his entire life, and he's
Yeah.
like, every 4 months, he's like, I fall into relapse because I see Serral do something amazing with roaches, so I actually believe roaches are good until I play roaches myself, and then I realize I hate roaches again. Like that's the exact speech that Reynor's had, and he has gone through many phases where he wants to be a roach believer because Yona makes them look so good, but
Yeah.
it's not his cup of tea.
I mean, if based on the last games, I mean, he can do a lot of magic. I don't think you can do that with roaches.
I think that's the thing as well. Like when it comes to stylistically, why Clem and Reynor are so fun to watch. Like Reynor just benefits from a lot of fast units. Like that just brings out the best gameplay in him. And when it comes to like moving a few roaches between bases defensively and just kind of going into hive quickly without any units, I feel like that doesn't really favor Reynor. It doesn't allow him to shine, like how some of the Middle-East Ling Bane gameplay allows him to shine.
I did see some gameplay by Serral a while ago where if he gets up to lurkers, and that it starts becoming that kind of game where you just send one lurker to each base and you force them to do non-stop scans. And that does seem like Reynor's gameplay, but it does take a while to get there. You don't really get to do it very fast.
Yeah.
And against Clem, you probably die half the times before you get there, so there's also that.
I think there are some Terrans where Reynor is okay with like still experimenting a little bit with a couple of roach builds, but I think he truly hates it against Clem with a passion.
Yeah.
Because obviously Clem is so quick, and then if Clem finds a bit of momentum, Clem will start like out multitasking you because the Terran army will move quicker than the Zerg army. I think he just hates it. Doesn't want to find himself in that spot. Instead, we're going to play this single evolution chamber. There was a time where Reynor was very fond of single evo, Ling, Infestor, no banelings, straight into hive and very quick ultras.
He still does that sometimes, I think.
Yeah, I think he likes it. Harstem actually spoke with Wardy. I was watching a Wardy cast not too long ago, and Harstem is like, yeah, Clem told me he thinks it's the worst build ever. He's like, the Zergs keep on doing it to me, but I think it's the worst build ever. I was like, I think it has potential. It has looked good sometimes.
I did see recently, I think it might have been in the Wardy tournament, Reynor beat Clem, I believe. And in one game, Reynor went for that style, and then Clem just made like 10 Hellbats and A-moved him. So...
Yeah, they played twice. Upper bracket Reynor won, lower bracket Clem won.
Ah, okay.
There's obviously a chance that these two will play against each other again later in the grand finals, as this is just the upper bracket finals. Reynor has to worry about 5 Hellions. 2 of them are mega low HP, but 3 Hellions is all you need to one-shot drones, and Clem is already off to a pretty sweet start, and he ain't done yet. I mean, it's a bunch of 10 HP Hellions, but they're still causing a serious problem here. Oh, Clem is, by the way, going to suffer a bit from these weird air blockers.
Yeah.
I hate the movement, but I hate how it looks.
Yeah, it's very
Starcraft is such a
unsatisfying.
clean game, it's so satisfying, and suddenly things glide around the wall. Like, I feel like this just doesn't really fit with Starcraft.
I don't think it was the worst start for Reynor, right? Like, he lost 8 drones, but killed 6 Hellions. It's
Yeah,
not
we lost them a
ideal.
bit later, right? Because our Drunkard is already quite healthy.
Yeah.
It's I'm sure that Reynor probably wishes it would have gone a tiny bit better, because 2 of those Hellions were 1 hit away from dying,
Yeah.
and then the 3rd one was on 15. But I agree with you. I don't think Reynor is out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm sure that Reynor was probably hoping for a bit more, because against Clem you always feel like you need a bit more. Reynor has 11 queens, by the way.
This is a very nasty supply block on Reynor's side. He would really like to be making units right now, but that's not going to happen for him. He is indeed doing the style, the Ling Infestor into fast hive.
Well, Clem is going to have to battle 11 queens. This is so many. And that is a very fast hive. And Reynor, who was supply block, you pointed out for a while, finally on supply block himself, but ends up losing another Overlord. As Clem throws down a scan, and he's going to try to keep the creep at bay. 2 Banshees show up as Clem immediately realizes, hey, no Overseer, no Spore Crawler in the front. These Banshees can shine.
I mean, when it's that many queens, they don't really die.
Takes a while.
Yeah, takes a while to get through them. So it's like you fight against the queens, you're like, I finally got one, and then you realize it's just one of 10 queens doesn't actually matter that much.
It's like down to 11.
Yeah. Did really like that spore position in the May base by Reynor, really shutting down the drops very simply. I wonder if because of that he likes these positions, because dropping into the main is hard, so you only really have to worry about the front.
Reynor is counterattacking, but he obviously needs to worry about this army. I'm certain that his links will kill something, but these Marines tend to kill things a whole lot quicker. Fungal does connect in a decent way. The Queens are going to try to buy a little bit of time. It's a bunch of SCVs dying. Does Reynor have enough to save this hatchery? Do the Queens have enough firepower to win the fight against this many Marines? Don't forget about the Widow Mines in the back that have not fired yet. I don't think this is going well enough for Reynor at all, as right before Hive Tech, Reynor takes a painful fight. Good Widow Mine shot there for Reynor at least, as he did some friendly fire, but Reynor, his counter didn't do enough. It seems like Clem really anticipated it. Clem gets the hatchery, gets a lot of links, gets 8 queens, right? 9 queens have fallen. This was never good enough for Reynor.
Yeah, if we got those infestors just a little bit faster, it would have been almost impossible for Clem to walk up that ramp, because then you have to split. You can split 5 minis for her, but those are going to die to the queens. So that really was quite painful for Reynor. And now for the 3rd time in a row, he's going to have to play from pretty far behind.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult here, especially on Mothership, because the units of Clem, as soon as they leave town, they are almost immediately on the other side of the map. Reynor lets the hatchery finish up. This is going to get picked off immediately, and I'm afraid that we are never going to see Ultras here, Mark. I would love to see a few Ultras. Ultras with cactus plating early on, very fun stuff. But Clem is almost doubling the army supply of Reynor. And he has read Reynor's game plan here like a book. He was very well prepared. Like, I was focusing on this fight, but we kept our eye on the minimap. It was like, let's see if like there's a crazy amount of SCVs dying, and this wasn't, right? Like,
yeah.
Clem did such a good job when it comes to damage limitation there, while prioritizing the more important skirmish in the top left side, and has put himself very far ahead. This is another game that now goes on for 7 more minutes, because Reynor gets like 2. This is where we need the Ghost user Ultra, you know, from the old school.
Oh, with the mass transfuse. Yeah.
1 Ultra, infinite transfuse.
I mean, if Reynor drags this one out for another 7 minutes, we need to give him a separate prize, I think.
Maybe we can get the $75 for the best underdog performance.
Yeah, he should, because he is an underdog in this game, that's for sure.
I'm not sure if the rest of the competitors would be very happy with that. Reynor does do a decent job here in making sure there's no opening for Clem, but Clem has rotated an army into the center of the map, and Reynor is going to lose his 4th base here. There's nothing he can do about it. Well, he is going to try, but it's already dead, and that means we're going to step through circles, but we got no anti-air here, so that's kind of painful.
GG is called, and Clem takes the series 3-1, ruining my prediction and being the first player into the grand finals.
Yeah. He is no longer going to finish in 3rd place, man.
Yeah, he's probably going to look at me angry.
It was a bit of a hot take as well, to be fair.
No, it was, yeah, for sure. I was just yapping, you know, as I do. Yeah. Cool series, I think. It was,
it was very fun. I think very action-packed, couple of great moments. I love the Baneling snipes, love the burrowed Banelings, especially behind the trees, because we didn't even see it.
I had no idea.
It's the Silent Retreat, and we did mention that there was burrow. There is something else that I can hop in soon, but I don't know if maybe Clem wants to join for a little bit, or Reynor. Like, Clem is going to have a lot of time off, so maybe he wants to talk quickly about the games. But we can also just take a little break. I don't know. How are you feeling?
I mean, I think it's time to go for dinner for me, but I can stay here for a little interview, or I'm not in a rush.
What I can do is just throw to a little break and also grab, well, I don't know if I need more pizza, maybe a bit later, but then just come back as soon as we have a next game, and then maybe I can convince Clem to cast a game with me or something. That would be fun as well.
He'll probably be down.
Yeah.
He has extra dopamine right now.
Yeah, he's walking in the other direction, guys, so I don't think he's joining us. Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy dinner. You're coming back to the venue after dinner?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
All right.
Some interesting results, by the way, that actually went down. I can already tell.
I didn't see
It
all
means that Showtime beat Skillis and Lambo beat Christianer. They're being down 1-0.
All right, let's take a look, guys, at the lower bracket. So Lambo did get a 2-1 victory over Christianer. Christianer played a strong tournament, by the way. He was so
you saw the game against Reynor?
I casted them.
Oh, yeah, brutal, man.
Yeah, the 2nd game. But even in the 3rd game, he was in a really good spot. If he doesn't lose that prism, picks up the Archon.
Yeah.
So Showtime is having the German Klassiker and Lambo taking the 1-0 lead, and they're 16 minutes into game 2. So if they go to a game 3, I will of course hop into that. If there is no game 3, then I guess up next is the lower bracket final. That would be a ZVZ, and I'll see who we can find for that. Do you know what's for dinner?
No, I have no idea. I'll just look around. Could be some Korean food or Some Cologne special kebab.
There were a couple of Korean restaurants that I was very fond of when I lived there a long time ago, but it's a bit further away, like a bit close to the city. And I don't even know if some of them are around, because I know that my friends used to go to one of them and then it got closed, but they had a whole like goodbye evening and they were just so happy that they had all these amazing memories in the restaurant. But there's some, I think Düsseldorf is more known for all the great Korean places, but you should find something here.
Probably, yeah.
All right, Mark, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed
pleasure.
it. And perhaps we'll see you again later tonight.
Maybe.
All right, that was Mark. This was me. I might come back with Game 3 Lambo versus Showtime. If there is no Game 3, we're going to take a slightly longer break, and then we will hop into the lower bracket finals between Lambo and Reynor. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys are enjoying the Big Gabe Cup. Make sure to show all the love to Gabe because he deserves it. And big shout out to Razor and everyone else that's here. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Enjoy the music by Moondriver, one of the supporters of this event.